Sega, Atari, Nintendo. Long ago, the three game rulers lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Dude Bros attacked. Only the Sega, master of appealing to the hip and younger crowd, could stop them. But when the industry needed him most, he vanished. 14 years later, a new group of Sega players appeared, a group called the Game Gearheads. And although their gaming skills were great, they had a lot to learn if they're going to save anyone. But I believe the Game Gearheads will save the industry.
Previously on the Game Gearheads.
Well, I'm just as big of a Star Wars fan as you, and I'm working on my own Star Wars review, so I feel it's justified.
Wanna buy some death sticks?
Hey, selling drugs is irresponsible.
Alright, that's it. I will show you that Batman is the better series.
Well, you want to prove it? Fight me.
Stop it now.
Is everything working?
Everything's going according to plan.
Good.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
We can't play this. It's a licensed game. They're always terrible.
I know, but even I haven't heard anything about this game.
We don't need to. It's obvious from the box art. It's a game based off a fantastic show. When has that ever been good?
Well,
You got nothing.
no, not at all.
Well, I'm not playing it.
I beg to differ.
Hello, boys.
Hey, you're the guy who sent us here.
Glad to see you can state the painfully obvious, Sean. Did you really think that by just ignoring it, it will go away? It will stay there, staring at you until you break down and play it.
And if we don't?
Well, you can always replay Superman 64.
Put the game in.
Ah, glad to see you show some reason. Don't feel too left out, Mo. There's always co-op.
God damn it, why do you guys do this?
Hey, it's better than just watching.
No, I am not playing that.
Then you'll be playing Superman 64.
Give me the controller.
Have fun.
Well, no point in prolonging it. This is Avatar: The Burning Earth.
I guess before we talk about the game, we should address the show it's based on. In 2005, Nickelodeon had aired a show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now I want you guys to know that up until this point, Nickelodeon had only been airing comedies, and while a lot of them were really good ones, it got stale after a while. So the idea of releasing a show that was largely action and drama focused was a pretty big risk, but when the show started, people loved it. They said it wasn't only one of the best shows on Nickelodeon, but one of the greatest animated series of all time, right up there with the likes of Batman the Animated Series. Now, since this game follows the events of Season 2, we're gonna have to give some context to the world of Avatar itself. so we'll try our best to explain what is needed and not try to spoil anything.
The world of Avatar is made up of 4 nations: the Air Nomads, Water Tribe, Earth Kingdom, and the Fire Nation. Each of these nations contain people who can control a particular element called bending. These people can only bend one of the 4 elements except for one person, the Avatar, who is the master of all 4 elements. The Avatar is meant to keep peace to the 4 nations, as he or she is reincarnated throughout the generations. The world was at peace for a long time, until the Fire Nation decided to conquer all the lands, essentially starting war by wiping out the Air Nomads and taking over parts of the Earth Kingdom. The war had prolonged for 100 years, with the Fire Nation supposedly winning, but one day, 2 members of the Water Tribe, a waterbender named Katara and a warrior named Sokka, find a boy named Aang. They quickly discover that he is the Avatar and the last airbender. At that point, the series followed our heroes on many adventures while trying to teach Aang how to master all 4 elements, and stopping the Fire Nation. Along their adventures, they meet many characters who teach Aang the elements, like blind earthbender Toph and Prince Zuko, a banished prince of the Fire Nation. They also make a lot of enemies, such as General Shao, Princess Azula, and the Fire Lord. All of these characters come together as part of a fantastic show. It really goes without saying that everyone should see this show.
We are really selling this show short with that description, but it really is an amazing series. I just wish we could talk about the show the entire time, but we have this game to look at. Now, if you're wondering why we're so concerned with playing this, it's because it's a licensed game. Now, licensed games have a reputation of having little to no effort put into them. They are more often than not either half-assed, dull, not interesting, or just downright broken. There are some good games, but licensed games are for the most part really awful. And the fact that this came out in 2007 on the PS2 really makes me concerned with this one. So with that said, let's take a look. As I said before, the game follows the events of Season 2. Well, almost all of them. It stops at the drill episode, which is around the halfway mark, which I don't really understand, but whatever, it's a video game. Okay, before we get to the bad stuff, let's talk about the good things, and to be fair, there is quite a bit of good things in this game. Being a game based off of the show, it is nice to hear a lot of the themes playing the stages. It does fit rather well with what's going on, and I appreciate it. Also, the presentation's pretty good too. Well, mostly in the voice acting department. They got most of the original cast back to reprise their roles, and they sound pretty good for what they were given. Also, the animation during the FMV cutscenes is very flowing and looks rather nice. They even managed to capture some of the comedy of the original show.
Anyone here got a problem with that?
I always look forward to that.
So in terms of presentation, it's pretty good. In the FMVs and absolutely not in the real-time cutscenes. Okay, now let's start with some of the bad things in the game. While the fully animated cutscenes look nice, the real-time cutscenes look awful. You see, instead of animating these scenes, they put the character models in position, and decide to leave them there while the voiceover plays. I'll be honest, for a long time, I thought Sonic Adventure had some of the worst in-game animation. But I think this takes the cake. This is awful. Look, their mouths don't even move while they're talking. I guess Avatar and friends are just practicing their ventriloquy skills.
The gameplay is kind of a mixed bag. It's essentially a 3D beat-em-up with 2 attacks. Assuming you're playing the PS2 version, you use square for melee attacks and circle for charge attacks. It can range from an air current, freezing the floor, throwing a boomerang, and throwing fruit. Okay, that's kind of weird. It's not like they all do the same thing. Some will knock enemies off their feet while others stun them in place. Sadly, that's as complex as the moveset gets. Granted, you can use a different combination by hitting the buttons in a certain order, but they never seem to work. You will almost always do the 3-hit combo because of the input delay on the attack. Why not have more moves available, like the air ball, the water whip, freezing?
Rockalaunch? The Trembler?
Well, lightning's an ability, but it's regulated to a charge attack. This is seriously the most gimped ability of the bunch. For example, look at lightning in the show. And here it is in the game. Other than that, movement's okay, if not a little stiff. I could really go without the heavy jump, but it works.
In terms of stage design, well, it's okay, but nothing glamorous. The levels are just straightforward hallways, and while there are some hidden chests for health and experience, there's nothing really gripping here. I will say that there is something cool about going through some of the show's locales, like sabotaging the giant drill or going through Earth Rumble 6.
Aw man, can I talk about Earth Rumble 6 for a second? You basically have to fight a series of fighters to talk to Toph. These are said to be some of the best Earthbenders in the series, so let's see the matches.
Pleased to fight and lose.
Wow, he just took it. He didn't even fight back. No, seriously, I don't think he'll let him attack me once.
Let's see victim number 2.
The boulder will crush you to rubble.
The Sokka will!
The Earth Kingdom's finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm sure Toph won't be as bad. And oh shit! Wait a minute, oh, no, wait, stop! Stop!
She annihilated us.
Yeah, well, at least it's accurate for the show.
Yeah, but even for a game like this, it's kind of out of nowhere.
Sean, why aren't we moving?
Try using the health potion.
Nada.
Start. Select anything?
Nope, the game broke.
Wow. This is shit.
Yeah, it kinda goes without saying that the game has its share of bugs and glitches. And while there aren't too many that are game-breaking, excluding the most obvious one, a lot of it seems really clunky. Especially on these platforms where you have to move back and forth just to have it reach where you want to go. The screen just becomes a series of jitters, and I swear you fall one of the 4 times every time you try to make a jump. And it really doesn't help that the last section of the game is full of these. Before the final boss, you have to escape the drill as it's falling apart, and those platforms are everywhere. We fell about 7 times during this section and... Wait, what? Oh no, this again. I just got done saying that there aren't many game-breaking glitches in this, and now you... Oh. Well, okay then. I guess that happened, but still, don't scare me like that, game.
Well, you seem to be having fun.
Piss off, Voldemort. We're busy.
Okay, first off, I have a nose. Voldemort doesn't. And second of all, is that any way to talk to someone putting you through this torture?
Well, you'd be right if this were the least bit torturous.
What?
Yeah, the game isn't really that strenuous. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bad game, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
But what about the boss fights?
What boss fights? It's just being placed in an arena with another character, and you just wail on the guy. Seriously, you just beat the hell out of these guys, and they put up almost no fight. Also, I don't recall Aang using the Avatar state this much in the show. He only did it like twice per season. In this, it's how you finish all the bosses.
But how could you not hate this game? It's a licensed game. They're bad by default.
Well, I mean, it's bad, but it's not awful.
So, you wouldn't mind playing the game a few more times?
Well, I prefer not to.
Too bad, door's still locked.
Damn it.
You will play this until it breaks you!
Tomorrow.
I've had enough! Okay, this is seriously the worst part of the game. It's so goddamn boring. I know we touched on this already, but this needs to be addressed. The limited combat, the bland stages, the really annoying glitches just make this game out to be one of the most boring games of all time. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it!
Whoa, man, calm down. Let me handle this.
So, yeah, to put it short, the game as a whole is dull. It looks dull, it plays dull, the sound isn't really all that original, and controls are really bland, and it just doesn't stand out. As far as Avatar games go, well, I don't really know what to compare it to. It's just sort of there. It's a shame too, because I don't think the game is bad, it's just boring. Which, in my opinion, can be worse. Final verdict, don't play this game, not because it's unplayable, but just because it's a complete, forgettable waste of time.
So, you admit it's one of the worst games you've ever played?
No.
Yes. What?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me! How could you not hate this?
Look, it takes a lot for me to get angry at a game, and this just puts me to sleep after a while. Also, I played Superman 64, and this isn't anywhere near that quality.
No! This isn't right! You should break from this game!
Well, you're gonna have to do a lot better than that.
No! This is the game that will break you! You'll do 76 more playthroughs until you crack!
No! I can't stand to play this game anymore. You might have the patience to do so, Sean, but I don't! I cannot play through this bore fest anymore!
Well, no. To be honest, you weren't even supposed to be here playing with him. This game was designed to break Sean and make him see that all licensed games are terrible. I think you've suffered long enough. If you want, you may leave. But only you can leave. Sean can't escape.
We'll see about that.
Sean!
Well, Mo, what'll it be?
Please don't.
Sorry, Sean. I've suffered long enough.
Wait! Mo, wait! No, shit! He left.
Can you really blame him, though? He endured all that for you.
No.
There is something you can blame. That's it, Sean. Take your revenge. Yes! Yes! What? Why didn't you destroy it?
It's simple. I don't hate it that much.
No! You can't do this! You must hate it because it's a licensed game!
No, I don't. And I don't hate this game just because it's licensed. It's bad for a bunch of other reasons.
Unacceptable. You promised that this would be the game that would break him, and he couldn't even go as far as to destroy that game.
No! I can still fix this! He will break under this game!
You have failed me for the last time, Xanthac. You will suffer for your ignorance.
No! No! No!
Jesus.
He can't save you now.
Okay, do you guys just hate bright colors or something? God, I haven't seen so much dark clothing since The Matrix.
My apologies for my apprentice. He didn't know how to break a man with the power of a licensed game. A mistake I never make.
So, does that mean I'm free?
Not yet. There are 2 more games for you to play.
What else do you want? I literally just played the most boring game of my entire collection. What else is there?
You know, sometimes These games are the ones that are connected through childhood. So these two are based off of a film you loved as a child.
Okay. What is it?
Just turn on your GameCube and find out.
Oh my. You have no idea what you're in for.
No, no. No, no.
No, you will die!